channel. This week I'm bringing you, along with Jessica from Beauty and Baseball, Clone Wars. This is the second installment of Clone Wars, and what this is we take a popular palette and we dupe it for you guys. And we try our best to dupe it with what is in our collection. And so this time it's really exciting. We both agreed that we wanted to go ahead and dupe. Are you ready? Are you ready? Dun, 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 dun. The Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. And let me tell you, at the time I did not have this. I got this as a gift and I could not be any happier. And looking at this, I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. No way. So just to go ahead and kind of give you an idea of what it looks like this, and it's kind of cool because it opens up like this, and it has mirrors on both sides. And yeah, it's really beautiful. And this right here is the Saint side, and this over here is the Sinner side. So I figured it was going to be really hard to dupe, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, it took me 3 hours and several palettes to go ahead and dupe this for you. And of course I have it all written down on my phone because I swatched so many shades of eyeshadows, you have no idea. I looked like a mess, and so because there are 24 shades in this palette, I didn't want to forget. Now, I did try my best to get as close as possible to these swatches. Some of them, a couple of them, aren't exact, and one I could not dupe at all. The first side that I am going to start with is the Saint side, which is over here, and I'm going to start with this shade right here, Absolution. That's what that looks like. And the dupe for that, it comes from the Vice 3 palette. And it's this shade right here, Bobby Dazzle. It is more pigmented, but the difference is, you'll see whenever I swatch it. This one has more of like gold shimmer to it than this one. This one is more of a solid white and this one isn't. But I think probably on the eye it'll look pretty similar. The next one is this shade right here, and it is called Rapture, and it is gorgeous. It's that one right there. This is, it's stunning. And I was surprised whenever I went ahead and duped this. This comes from my Urban Decay Moondust palette. And I'm going to go with this shade right here, which is Element. That one right there. See, there's really, that's pretty close. That is pretty close. The next shade is this purple shade right here, and it is called Worship. Now, I love purple, so, you know, this had to be easy for me, right? I was thinking I have so many purples. It wasn't. That's what that looks like right there. And for that one, I went with the Kat Von D. This is the Shade and Light, it's upside down. The Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Quad in Plum. And I went with this shade right here. The only difference is this one is matte, where this one has sort of like a satin finish. This next shade right here is called Immaculate. And it's that one right there. And the dupe for that comes from the Vice 3 palette. And it is this shade right here, Broke Down. This one is more brown, I think, than this one. This one has more like of a olive green type, where this one is more like a brown, greenish kind of thing. That is as close as I could get in my collection. This next shade, it's called Chalice, and it's this gorgeous shade right here. That right there. And the shade that is the dupe comes from the Too Faced Natural Love palette. And it is the shade, where is it now? It is the shade Don't Settle. I'm moving it over, guys. The next shade that I have is this one right here, and it is called Sacred Heart. It looks like that. And for the dupe for that shadow, I'm going with my Carly Bible Deluxe palette. And I'm going with this shade right here. It does not have a shade name, but that's okay. It is still a dupe. That's what that looks like. The next shade is this one right here, and it is called Amen. And it's that one right there. And for that, I'm going into my Naked 3 palette. And going with this shade right here, Strange. Strange is a little bit more pink, but really on the eyes, I don't think that you will be able to tell at all. Next shade is called Sanctuary. This is one of my favorite shades in the palette. And by the way, I love this palette. I really, really do. And it is the shade right here. And for the dupe, I'm going into the Vice 3 palette again. And I am going to use the shade right here, which is called Rain. See? My friend Amy made a comment to me and she said, really, you were able to dupe it? I didn't think that you would be able to dupe it. Yeah. The next shade that I'm going to be duping for you guys is this one right here, and it is called Heaven. Let's do it right there. This is a gorgeous shade. And for that one, it took me a while, and kind of like a light bulb went off. And this is the Kevin Aquan Duo, and this is an Antique Silver and Plum Shimmer. I got this off of Hot Look, and it's this shade right here. It is a little bit darker, but You could go ahead and share it out as well or build up the other shade. I think it's a pretty decent match. Next shade is this one right here, and it is called Crucifix. Looks like that. And for that shade, I'm going into my Urban Decay Smoky palette, and I will be going in with this shade right here, which is called Whiskey. Again, it's a little bit lighter, but you could go ahead and build it up as well. Next one is called Cathedral. Just stunning, stunning shade. And for that, I'm going back into my Urban Decay Smoky palette, and I am going to be using this shade right here, Slanted. The next shade is called Rosary. This is another stunning color. I don't think that there's a single color that I don't like. Yes, there is. I lied. But it's not because of pigmentation. So right there is Rosary. And the dupe for that comes from, once again, the Vice 3 palette. And I'm going in with this shade right here, and it is called Sonic. There's that. And the last shade on the Saint side is called Baptism. That's what that looks like. And surprisingly enough, I'm going back into my Kat Von D Shade Light Quad and Plum. And I'm going to go with this shade right here. That's what that looks like. This right here is the Saint side of the Kat Von D Saint and Center palette. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into this side, which is the center side, and of course, silly me, I already went ahead and duped Rapture for you because I'm a dummy, and it's these two right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue and go with this one right here, which is Sabbath, which is a matte black. For that, I'm going to go back into my Urban Decay Smoky palette, and I'm going to go with this one right here, and it is called Black Market. Pretty much any black will do, but those both are really, really pigmented. Next shade right here is called Ashes. This one was a little hard to dupe, but it is stunning. Let's see where I have room. That's what that looks like right there. And for that, I'm going to be going in with my Urban Decay Moon Dust eyeshadow in Moonspoon. This one is more sheer, but I really think it would look similar. It's so, both of them are so glittery. I just think that that's beautiful. The next one is the shade right here, and it is called Murder. That's what that looks like. And for that, I'm going with my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. And I am going in with, I'm going to dupe it with this one right here, which is called Salted Caramel. The next one is Devil. which is that one right there. The dupe for Devil comes from my Zoeva Caramel Melange palette. And it is this shade right here, Aftertaste. That's what that looks like. The next shade is this one right here, and it is called Revelation. And it looks like that. And for the dupe, I'm going with my Urban Decay Moondust eyeshadow in Diamond Dog. Again, you can build it up, but the shade is pretty much the same. You can either sheer out the other one or build up Diamond Dog. Next, we're going to be getting into the fun, harder colors. This shade right here, it's called Vestment. We're going to go right there. I found room. That is Vestment. For that, I'm going with this Makeup Geek eyeshadow. It's called Secret Garden. That's Secret Garden, and that is Vestment. This next shade is called Ministry. Let's go right there. This is such a beautiful blue. I'm shocked at how, I want this all over my lid, and I'm not even really big on blue. And surprisingly enough, I'm going with the Makeup Revolution No Photos Please eyeshadow palette. And I am gonna go in with this shade right here, which is Publicist. Look at that. Publicist is a little bit darker, but that's it. This next shade is called Exodus. And this is a shade that I was talking about that I cannot dupe. I can't dupe it. It's sort of like this vibrant greenish yellow neon type of goodness. I don't have a single shade in my collection, so definitely check out Jessica's video for a dupe for this because she loves her greens and her yellows, so I'm sure she has a dupe for you guys. So now we are down to the last 3 shades, and the shade is called Exorcism. Which looks like that. Now the dupe for the shade right here is from my MAC Purple x9 palette, and it is the shade Bon Newt, which is right there. Both kind of swatch, kind of to me, but nevertheless. Second to the last shade is called Relic. And it looks like that. So beautiful. I went back into my Zoeva Caramel Melange palette, and I went with this shade right here, which is called Almost Burnt. And the very last shade that I have for you guys is called Stigmata. And it's that beautiful shade right there. And for that, the closest one that I could get is Urban Decay Gash. Which is right there. So there you have it, guys. This is my dupes for the Kat Von D Saint Center palette. 23 out of 24 shades. After I went ahead and duped this palette for you guys, the big question is, do I regret having it in my collection? Am I going to exchange it for something else? Am I going to keep it? Am I going to use it? What am I going to do? Because most people, when they dupe a palette, or they know that they have certain shades in their collection, or half the shades or most of the shades, they won't buy it. A lot of people just simply won't buy it. But for me, this is more than just the eyeshadows. For me, it is about the packaging. This packaging is stunning. I just love this. I even love the back of this. To me, this does look exactly like she wanted it to look, which is like the stained glass windows. I just think that it's just, I love it. I love it. So no, I would not return it, but other people might. It's all up to you. And just the time factor, the fact that it took me 3 hours to dupe this, says it's not impossible to dupe, but it does take a while. Maybe if you have other Kat Von D palettes, you'll be able to go ahead and dupe it a whole lot easier. I don't know. I just have the quad in that one. So, whereas before I went ahead and I duped the I Want Candy palette in less than 5 minutes. So, and I don't own that one. So that is sort of, it's kind of up to you is what I'm saying. So hopefully you found this video informative, and check out Jessica's video. A lot of hers, especially with her I Want Candy palette and everything, you're going to find even more affordable options. She's got a lot of Coastal Scents eyeshadows. So, I mean, for 99 cents or $1.98 an eyeshadow, if you could dupe this, why not, right? So, hopefully you enjoy this video. If you have ideas on the next palette you guys would like us to dupe, put it in the comments below. And don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!